morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Today I just wanted to do a 6-month recap on where I am at in my trading gains on the year. I've noticed that a lot of channels will just post videos on what they're doing. My channel is mainly just, I like to post my progress and I like to just make videos that I think would be helpful for people. I'm not a professional trader, as you can see. I've only made 11,500 this year, but I think it's good to go through your gains and your losses and then see where you can improve and then just go over what your strategy is. So today I'm just going to go over my gains, my losses, and I'm just going to go over how I've made these gains and what my strategy is. So if you find that it's useful, definitely subscribe, hit the like button. All I'm doing is tracking my journey. I'm not a professional trader. I just like to post about trading videos. And if I can help at least one person out, it makes me feel good. All right, so we're going to start with the ugly first, and we're going to start with SQQQ. As you can see, this year I've lost $7,000 on them. I'm still positive on the year, but look, that is my biggest loss. When you look at all the red, that is my biggest loss to date, and it's because I didn't follow a stop loss. So let's break that down. I'll show you where I bought, and I'll show you where I held to, and it was pretty bad. I'm sure some of you can relate. We're not all perfect traders, but it's good to see. All right, so I brought SQQ up where I lost the 6,000-7,000 on. I'm using Webull just because it's easier to show. So there was this trending pattern going down, and for some reason I thought it was a good idea to buy here. I bought 300 shares at $48, and in the time I was thinking that I could buy it, and I was going to try to make a gain of 5-6 points. So just from this entry right here, retracing back up to about here, I was trying to make like 10-11% at $54-$55. And I honestly didn't have any stop loss in mind. It just sunk like immediately. So when I bought it around the $48, you had this nasty red candle that just went all the way down to 44. So I was already down like 4 points immediately. And I just started thinking to myself, all right, well, I don't know what I'm going to do with this because I was already down like $1,200. And then as the days went by, it just kept going lower and lower. And over, let's say, I would say 2 months, it went all the way down to $32. So now I'm down over 16 points on this, thinking, what do I do at this point? So I decided to just day trade with my other cash and just hold the bag, as they say. But unfortunately, the bag never came back. And I try not to add to any positions that will, like, I try not to add if I'm down that much because it can just turn into, like, this is just a nasty rejection. I bought here at 48 and it just sold off and it never even got close. It got 3 points away from 48 to 45, but it sold all the way down to $32. And I said to myself, okay, this is probably the low. Didn't add, continued to trade in my account. It went as high as $42. Could have took the loss again, 5-6 points, instead of being down from 48 down to 32. 16 points. That's a huge loss. So where did I decide to sell? I did what every degenerate decides to do. I took the loss all the way down here at $27 a share. So I took over 20 points, 21 point difference for a 6K loss. And I just said, you know what? It looks like the market has shown that it's just going to keep going up. And for those that are not aware, SQQQ is just the inverse of triple Q, the NASDAQ. So this is when QQQ was just making its awesome run. And I should have been looking at QQQ more and looking at you can just see the pattern that it's ascending. It's just going up. But that was, when we had those lows at 260, I just thought it was going to continue to keep selling off. But sometimes you win some, you lose some, and that's okay because I'm still in the green. But it was a good lesson that you make a trade, it doesn't go your way. Sometimes you just got to cut the loss. And if I would have cut that loss way earlier, I wouldn't have had this monster loss. And it's gotten in the way of my gains. I'm up 11,000 on the year, but if I didn't take that 7,000 loss and took let's say $1,000 loss, I could be up 16, 17,000 right now. So it's just something to keep in mind when you're holding the bag. Now let's look at Tesla because Tesla is my my most positive on the year right now. All right, so as you can see, I typed in Tesla all my accounts year to date. Tesla I've made over $14,000 on. And this is just strictly day trading shares. And then when I've traded options on Tesla, I'm up $315. So I will just break that down, and I'm just going to go over my strategy because I just mainly scalp Tesla. I can't really show a chart that shows where I made 14,000. This is a cumulative of making 300 to 500 every day just trading Tesla. And I'm just going to go over my strategy on what's been working for me. And I think Tesla works for me because it's so volatile that you can scalp 30 to 50 cents right at the open over and over and over. And let me just show you. So this is the last business day that I traded Tesla, which was Friday. Today's Saturday, June 10th. And as you can see, I made $768. And what I want to show you is that it's not, I do Tesla all the time. So I just want to bring up a custom so you can see it. I'm going to show you on June 5th, just till now, just trading Tesla only. I made $1,100. So just trying to average, $300 to $400 every trading day. And I traded 4 out of 5 days. So 4 out of 5 days, I'm making an average of like $250, $275 just on Tesla, but it slowly adds up. As you can see, when you look at my year-to-date gains on Tesla, it's over 14,000. So let me just break that down. Let me show you in the chart. All right, so let me show you Tesla on a chart and how I do it. So quickly, I'm just going to bring up the chart. I have videos that show how to use Fidelity Active Trader Pro, so definitely feel free to use those. And I know this looks like spaghetti right now, but just give me 2 seconds and I'll make it nice and easy. So you have the time frames down here, 8, 9, and 10 a.m. And I mainly trade Tesla at the open from 9:30 to 10:30. And I like to play dips on them. So let me just zoom in a little bit. We're going to zoom in. Let's do 9 to 11, get that 2-hour window in there. And my day trading strategy right now, this is the 1 minute. I mainly use the 1 minute, and I like to type in the 2 minutes, and I'll have 2 or 3 charts up. So I'll have the 1 minute, the 2 minute, and the 5 minute up. And when I'm trading that close, like a 9:30 open where everything's super volatile, I like to use the 1 minute and the 2 minute right next to each other. And I look for these wicks when I'm trading the 2 minute, these empty wicks, because they implicate that there is buying pressure pushing it up. And when I trade this, I'm going to put it on the 1 minute. You can just see how fast the candles just change from each other, and they quickly just go up and down and reverse on each other. And if you can find support levels before you start trading, and you can see where Tesla is trading, you can easily jump in on these, because I'm going to draw a horizontal line so you can just get a better look when you're looking on the side where the price action is. I'll draw them as support and resistance just so you can see. These are 1 minute candles, so just keep that in mind. In 1 minute candles, you have a move from 247 around, just averaging up, and then you have another move all the way to 249 almost. So within 1 minute, there's just this red candle alone, you had a 3-point move, 249 to 247. I'm sorry, 2-point move, 249 to 247. And then if you move to the next candle, let's skip the red one, you go to this green one. And this is at 9. You can see the clock right up here, the time where my arrow is. If you look up here, that's 9:33. So 9:33, Tesla moved from this resistance candle at 2. I'll zoom in even more actually to make this even easier. You can see here, and let me get rid of all these guys just to make this so you don't, because I could imagine if I was watching this, being a viewer, this would be very confusing. So let's just get rid of all the indicators that I use, even though I barely use them, I feel like, when I'm trading. So just looking at the candles, this 933, as you can see, 933, the 933 moved from 248.5, just averaging, all the way to 246. So you're getting a good 2 points that you could scalp. And when I'm buying, I'm really only looking at a few things, especially in the morning. I'm looking at the 1, the 2, and the 5 minute, and I'm looking at the RSI. And the RSI sometimes dips in the morning like below 25. And that's usually my go time to start. That's like, I'm not going to buy just because the RSI is less than 30. but I like to use it as a reference of, okay, I'm getting closer to the bottom. It doesn't mean it is going to be the bottom. You still need a stop loss. But I try to buy like, 100 to 200 to 300 shares. And what I'll do is I'll keep my stop. I'll give it a full point because I know how Tesla moves. So I'll risk the full point of the 300 shares. And then I'll try to get 2 points. So it's like a 2-to-1 ratio. Or if I buy, if I get this large sell off for 2 points, I'll make my stop 50 cents and I'll try to get a point. So I always try to keep it 2-to-1 R, meaning that if I'm betting $2, I'll try to win $4, but I'll only be losing $2. And then if you're doing 100 shares, you're trying to win $100, but you're only going to risk $50. And what I do is I try to just scalp in the morning just these branches, because you can see, look at this one right here, this red one. This is 9:36, which you can see the time right up here, and it goes all the way from 249 to 246. And when you're trading in the morning, it doesn't just sell off and just go down. You have many jumps. And what I like to do is I just read price action, and I see the wicks, and I can see that this green candle opens here, but it closes up here. And this one for the red candle opens here, but it closes down here. So then I get an idea of where the candle is going to be moving. So when I get to the next minute, instead of 9:36, I'm at 9:37. I think, okay, it closed here, it's opening here, and I'm watching it and seeing how low it's going to go. And I'm trying to trade in between. But when I'm making these trades, I'm not just looking at specifically the candle. I've already done the research on the day. So I've already looked at the 1 month or the 3 month, wherever I can get. And I'm going to go back in time because it's really difficult to see support and resistance levels right now because Tesla is very, very just overbought. It's at like 240 or 250 right now. But you can draw your trend lines before you even make your trades for the day. And you can see that there are certain patterns Tesla likes to stay in. So you see, okay, Tesla is trading in this very range-bound area where you can start to feel safe to make your trades. Yeah, it's like a 150 to 220 right now. But you can see the overall direction when you use the 3 month or 6 month. And then you can see the trend that it's in. And I think that's more important is when you're scalping is to look at the trend. And I was looking at the support and the resistance zones. And I have a video going over this support and resistance zones, so definitely feel free to check them out. I try to post anything that I learn that could just help out anybody. But that's what I look for when I'm trading. And then when I'm trading that daily, I'm going to show you just so you can see it. If I'm trading I have Tesla up, I'm going to have 2 charts up. I'm going to have the 1 minute, and then I'm going to hit charts. Let's bring up another one. And then please follow my channel with the, I can show you like how I make my setup for Fidelity Active Trader Pro. If you're a Fidelity trader, I mean, it's good to see how other traders do it. But what I'll do is I don't even have volume up because I don't need that. I just look for specific time frames. I put the time frame in. If this is the morning, 9:30 to 9:45, I just have the 1 minute and then I have the 2 minute up. And then I just zoom in on the day that it opens at like 9:30, and then I watch the candles. And I look for the confirmation. I look for these wicks, these empty wicks, when the stock starts to sell off because we have buying pressure pushing it back up. And it clearly, from this 245 range, you can see that there's plenty of buyers coming in. And then I get my RSI that I look for, which is down here, which is 25. And look, even if you bought here at an RSI 25, it still would have sold off from 246 all the way down to 245.2. So you just got to be careful. So I try to look for the 1 minute, the 2 minute, and compare the wicks to see if it is a good buying opportunity or not. So a good example is I will use this guy. I'll zoom in on the chart. 9:30 opens up. I see that it's selling off. And this went from 250. I'm going to use just a trend just so you can see it. It's a little easier for you to follow. You can see it sold off from 250 all the way down to 245. But what you're not realizing is this is 15 minutes. Tesla has moved 5 points. That's a huge deduction. That's like 3% that's already lost. Like I just try to use the RSI, what it's lost. And then if it's still selling off and it's getting later into the day, like 10 o'clock, 10:15, With a 2 minute, I like to make my entries because I feel like a 1 minute chart is just not enough to confirm a reversal. And I will switch the 1 minute to a 5 minute. So then I can see that, okay, the RSI is really oversold here. It's 27 on the 5 minute chart. And all that means is that on the 5 minute chart, you have 5 minute candles. So every candle is 5 minutes. So you can look at the time here. And as I move my arrow, it goes from 10:45 to 10:50 to 10:55 to 11. And you can see it's just been mainly selling off, just to get a bigger picture of what is actually happening on the charts. So to me, I just feel like that's very useful because I don't go off of just one low RSI. If I'm trading a reversal, I want to see that I have a low RSI on the 5 minute, I have a low RSI on the 15 minute, and then I also use the 2 minute as well. So you can see here the RSI is 39 over here. But it was, yeah, right there. It looks like it was 39. And then I compare that. And then when I've been trading the reversals on Tesla, which it wasn't very clean today. Like this wasn't a clean trade. I'll look for a low and then I'll look for a higher low, but there was none here. It just blasted right back up. So sometimes, trading is not as simple as, oh, just look for this pattern and it works out. So that's why mainly I've just been trying to scalp Tesla, and I'll just go with that flow and just try to get, 1 point, risk 50 cents. Or I'll go for 50 cents and risk 25 cents. Whatever works for you, to be honest. So that's how I try to do it. And overall, it's worked really well. I've been able to make very good gains trading Tesla. And right now, it's definitely overbought. So hopefully it starts selling off so we can start buying more shares of it, because I don't personally like trading Tesla at like 150. I'm sorry, 250, when it was just 160 or even 100. So, and the RSI, if you look at the 1 year chart, it is so oversold at 85. And there's a huge red candle right here. So that's what I just wanted to show you. That's how I've been trading. That's how I've been making my gains so far. We'll see if it keeps working. We'll try to do maybe a monthly recap. But right now, that's where I'm at. And I just wanted to fill you in on how it's been going so far. So as you can see, not a professional day trader, but it's good to see how people are trading and what their actual P&L is, your profits and your loss ratio. So for me, I'm happy with it. I made 10,000 last year, 10,000 the year before that. So right now I'm at the goal 6 months in. My goal is to get to 20,000 this year, and we'll just try to scale up from there. But let's just try to stay green, as they say. All right. So if you liked what I showed, please subscribe, please like, and share the channel. Appreciate you too.